Hello, this is the project for Matthew and Milo. This is a project based on a soccer scheduling for a youth league in Guilford, Connecticut. So the first step in running this would be to reset the fields, which we've already done, and then it would be to assign fields using this macro, which looks at all the available fields. Once the fields are assigned, you can send the emails to all the referees that are in the system, and then you would go to our survey, or the referees would go to the survey, which the emails would link them to. They would fill it out using their ID number and any times they're available, and then that would come back into the Excel sheet, which we would then use our macro linked to a solver to assign all the referees based on their referee score and the game disutility based on preferences from the leaders of the youth soccer league based on which games they think are more important. And this normally runs for a couple minutes based on the complexity of the constraints we have. So I'm just going to stop it now so we can keep going. And it brings us to our solver, the page where we run the solver. And then you can see that we have successfully assigned all the referees to all the games. And that was kind of the elevator pitch that we're doing. And now I will go a little deeper into the more minute areas of the project. So first, the field assigner looks at all the fields, and then macros assign the fields based on availability. One is an available field, and in the survey that the ref gets, a 0 would be an unavailable field if they marked it that way. And then for the solver, we have the referee solver, which assigns all the referees based on their referee ID number. And the disutility is looked up with a VLOOKUP that is linked to the importance matrix. And the person who runs the league gave us kind of a ranking system or a disutility that we could use for each of the games, so we would know where to put the more important refs. And the ultimate goal is to minimize disutility, so the more important games have a higher disutility, which means they'd be matched up with a referee with a better score, one being the best score because that would minimize disutility the most. And then the constraints we have check to make sure that no other referee is scheduled for any time, multiple times. So ref number 5 would not be scheduled for 3 p.m. games. He'd only be able to be scheduled for a 9 a.m., a noon, and a 3 p.m. And it checks to make sure each type of ref, a center ref, a right 1, and a right 2 ref wouldn't be assigned to the same one. And then the ref responses to the survey are all recorded here. So right now we have all the refs assigned to saying they're available at all the times, but as soon as the surveys start coming in, these would change, and so would the disutility of putting them in. So they would have a very high disutility, and if the person who ran the camp or the league saw that, then they would have to stop. And then after all the fields are assigned, they're archived, which puts them in a database so you can see all the past games and all the past refs. And lastly, we have set up a system that shows you how much each ref has earned during this week. So you would see that based on the games each person here is refereed, they would earn a certain amount of money. So Noah Lasso with ref ID number 1 would earn $50 because he refed for one game, which was at 3 p.m. on league number 1. And that's our project. Thanks so much.